Hi, folks. Welcome back to Pop Up Fizzle. I'm Jeff.
I'm Heidi.
And we're here to give you 2 reviews for the price of 1. The price is free, by the way. 2 non-spoiler reviews. You don't have to worry about spoilers here. If you're thinking to yourself, Jeff, Heidi, this is a weird backdrop behind you. What is going on? This is actually the same backdrop that you normally get. It's just normally covered by a photo backdrop so that you don't get to see our house behind us. However,
this is the inside of our dining room. We're in the middle of packing and moving.
That's
so
right. So the backdrop is already stored away, along with most of the camera equipment. So we're actually on my phone with a little bitty tripod so that we can film this review for you. So we're going to review 2 films. 1, X-Men Dark Phoenix. 2, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Of course, you saw that in the title of this video, so you knew that anyway.
Right.
Unfortunately, you did not get to go see Dark Phoenix with me.
I did not get to see Dark Phoenix. But
I took my oldest daughter to see it. She's not going to be on camera. She would never do that. So I will give you my thoughts on the film in non-spoiler fashion, let you know what I think about that. And then Heidi and I will both talk about Godzilla, King of the Monsters, so we just got back from seeing that. So, X-Men Dark Phoenix. As most of you know, the X-Men franchise has been around for a long time. Fox has been in charge of that, recently bought by Disney, so we don't know what's going to happen with the X-Men next, other than that they'll likely be folded into the MCU at some point, maybe rebooted with new actors or that kind of thing. We'll see. But this kind of represents the end of an era in that the Fox X-Men series that started all those years ago with Famke Janssen and Hugh Jackman and all, just, I started to say Picard. That's literally how my brain works.
No.
Yes. Well, he's Picard.
Oh, he is Picard.
Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, all those wonderful people that we've come to love over the years in these roles. And then it continued over into X-Men First Class and the movies that have come since then, and even some blending of those 2 sort of properties together.
There is no timeline for any of that.
Right. So this is kind of the end of an era, and they kind of built that up in some of the promotional stuff that they were doing for this film, and that was fine. I went into this not knowing what to expect. We saw X-Men The Last Stand, which was basically the Phoenix Saga anyway. This is sort of a retelling or a reimagining of that, given some of the changes that have happened in the timeline, and it's all very confusing. I'll just say that. In the last movie, which was Apocalypse, it ended with Xavier, I don't know if you remember this, it ended with Xavier telling Jean Grey to just let go. To let loose in her fight against Apocalypse, and she did. And there was a Phoenix effect around her. Mm-hmm. And, and then they ignored that completely in this movie. Yeah. She's out in space, there's a thing, you saw that in the trailer, right? So, it's a little bit jumbled as far as timeline, especially given that they tried so hard to fix the timeline of these movies.
They didn't try that hard.
They tried a little.
They wound up making it so that there was no timeline.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, bottom line is, I feel like certainly this handled elements of the Phoenix story better than The Last Stand did. It's still not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination. The ending, I think, from what I understand, had to be reshot, refilmed because of some similarities to another film that came out just before it did, Captain Marvel. You could tell that maybe that ending was changed a little bit, maybe felt a little bit rushed. Probably not the way they intended for things to go initially, but nevertheless, I had a good time at the theater. I enjoyed my time with them, and I thought some of the performances were just fine. I'm not sure that it had kind of the spectacle that I would want as a movie that's the end of an era, but I certainly think it handled the Phoenix storyline better than The Last Stand did. The Last Stand had a lot of problems. However, that said, one of the things that I loved about The Last Stand was Wolverine being a part of that story. His absence here made this feel different to me and a little off. But aside from that, I had a good time at the theater. The way we normally rate films here is that we give them either a pop, a double pop, or a fizzle. Fizzle, of course, means don't waste your time. Pop means had a good time, but you don't necessarily need to see it on the big screen. Just wait for it to hit streaming or, Redbox or what have you. And then if it's a double pop, it means rush out and see it now on the big screen, do the whole thing. So for me, this is going to fall somewhere between a pop and a double pop. If you're a fan of the franchise and you've seen all the other movies on the big screen, I would say don't hesitate. Go see this one on the big screen. Some of the effects were pretty cool. Some of the fight scenes and stuff like that are handled really well. So I think it's worth the big screen treatment. If you're just sort of a so-so X-Men fan, you've been hit or miss on some of the movies, maybe don't spend your money on this one. Wait for it to hit streaming or something like that, and you can enjoy it that way. Anyway, those are my thoughts on X-Men Dark Phoenix. Let us know if you've already seen the film, what you think in the comments down below. Be careful not to post any spoilers because this is a non-spoiler review. We don't want to ruin the fun for anybody else. Now, you and I went to see the Kaiju movie.
Yeah, the Kaiju movie.
Not to be confused with a Kaiju movie, which would be
No.
scary in a completely different fashion.
Awful. No thanks.
Whew. Yeah, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, we were talking after the film that you did not see the 2014 Godzilla.
I don't think I did.
Okay, and you also did not see...
So this is me always seeing the follow-up before I see the original.
That's right.
Always.
You also did not see Kong, Skull Island.
No.
Okay, so those are the previous connected movies in this franchise, and I say that in advance, even though this is non-spoiler. I say that because I think it's important, since you didn't see those. Whether you had a good time or not means that people who may not have seen those movies might also have or not have a good time based on whatever you say.
I would have to say it without any hesitation. Although I did hesitate. I just couldn't remember the word hesitation. Without any hesitation.
You hesitated to hesitate.
I did. Anybody going to see this movie, you will have a good time. You don't need to see those other two to understand what's happening in the story necessarily or enjoy everything about it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think there's certainly some nuanced things that brought to mind things from those other movies, references and characters certainly, and that kind of thing that made me feel a little more into it maybe. But I don't think the story itself that they're telling in this movie requires either of those movies to get it. So spectacle-wise, I thought it was amazingly handled. If you're going into this looking for, an Academy Award-winning drama,
You ain't getting it.
this is not that kind of movie. And I've seen some reviews that, say they were looking for more story-wise, and my thought was why?
Why?
It's a monster movie.
It's a monster movie.
And
I mean, there were some good fights. There were some great effects. I felt like it was thoroughly enjoyable for the time that we were there.
Yeah, a little bit of comedy, not too much though. Not enough that it drug you out or landed so flatly that you were like, oh, why was this person in this movie?
Yeah, none of that.
None of that. I thought it was thoroughly enjoyable. I mean, there's really not a whole lot we can say because the general idea has been in all the trailers. You know that there are kaiju loose, and you know that they're hoping that Godzilla will help with that. That's all in the trailer. Say any more than that would be to spoil the movie, and we don't want to do that.
Nope.
Anyway, as we said before, the way that we rate this is with a pop, a double pop, or a fizzle. Heidi, where does this fall for you?
Oh, double pop. I wish we had seen it in the Dolby Theater just so we could have heard all of that stuff even better.
Yeah, or an IMAX. It's available on IMAX as well.
So we did see it in just a regular theater, but it was still amazing. So double pop, this is just a fun thing to go see in the theaters. Yeah,
I'm again going to fall kind of in between. I thoroughly enjoyed my time in the theater. Some of that, though, was based on the fact that I had seen the other pieces of this franchise, and some of the visuals certainly deserve the big screen treatment. But if this is not, if you've not seen the other movies and you don't think this is your kind of thing, but somebody wants to, you're certainly not going to feel like you wasted your time, I don't think. But if it's not your kind of thing, it might be worth waiting until it hits streaming for you. That's kind of up to you. But I enjoyed my time in the theater.
Same.
I also enjoyed a lot of popcorn
and
a giant drink.
Yes.
So much so that I had to leave the movie about midway through.
Yes.
But I came back with a refill, so I was good.
I made it.
Anyway, but good time was had by all. And of course, we know that Godzilla versus Kong is coming. They've finished filming that. I think they're in post-production now.
Should be fun.
So we'll see how that goes.
Do we have any idea 2020?
I'm sure that information is out there, but I did not look it up before we started filming this. So. Anyway, forgive the crazy wallpapery glass wall background. This is just us packing up, trying to go. But we will be, although we'll be posting a little bit less frequently than we have been, we are still going to keep content coming on the channel. We're just going to have to figure out our new normal as far as that goes.
Yep.
We will be doing that and, of course, keeping you guys posted on that. Important. very important. If you like this video,
hit the thumbs up.
and consider subscribing to the channel. We love it when you do that. Every single one of you that's joined, we're a tiny channel, but we pay attention. Every time that little number ticks up one person, we get excited. We text each other. We let each other know that another person has joined the ride. So we love having you on board. Share the videos with your friends. Let them know, hey, look, I found these two weirdos on YouTube. You thought YouTube was weird before. Look at these two. We appreciate all of those things. And we love it when you comment, because we like to love those comments or like those comments and reply when we can.
Yep.
So anyway, thanks for being a part of this journey, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.